the Niners signed Charvarius Ward. You're a big fan. What do you see from Charvarius Ward? Why do you like this signing?
He has a lot of value, and he doesn't necessarily jump off the screen as a household name, but I've got some statistics right here that I'd like to quote. This one comes from PFF, and since 2019. Now, this one is important to me because he actually gets targeted a lot. It was over 17% of his snaps, and yet the tight window percentage was the highest in the NFL. In addition to that, the completion percentage was the lowest in the NFL. That goes against people like J.C. Jackson, Casey Hayward, Jair Alexander, and Denzel Ward. That sounds pretty good to me right there. So that alone to me kind of sold that to me. But I think one of the domino effects of this trade actually goes back to Ambry Thomas and the fact that it will allow Ward can kick inside if he needs to. He can take over the duties that allow you to play sub packages that you can line Thomas up with more favorable matchups now. So you can develop him better while putting the lion's share on Mosley and on Ward. So these are your running mates now. And this allows you, I feel, to develop your rookie corners or your second-year corners a whole lot more effectively. I think that Thomas has a lot of physical upside. So why not allow him to play to his strengths while you have somebody who's taking on your number 1 or number 2 wide receiver? He travels all over as well, so he doesn't have to just lock down one side. If we were some reason to have injuries, he's a guy who's played literally every corner position. That is something I think that made him really attractive to the San Francisco 49ers. The other thing is we got lit up by the wide receiver core in the championship game of the Rams. I mean, they just stomped the 49ers secondary. There was no way to everybody did something wrong in that game. So he's matched up against some pretty good guys last year, including A.J. Brown. The combination of A.J. and Brown and Julio Jones in week 7 gave up 18 yards. I'll take that. Devontae Adams, 14 yards in week 9. Week 11, CeeDee Lamb for 5. Keenan Allen for 0 and 15. The only bad game he had all year was Jamar Chase. And that was for 83 yards in week 17. But he got a second chance at him in the championship game. He gave up 22 yards. He's the guy who makes adjustments. He's the guy who knows how to play different kinds of coverages, different packages, things like that. He's very athletic, and he's aggressive. He has a nose for the football as well. He's a guy who has blips on the radar, like that week 17 game, and comes back and locks somebody down on the biggest stage. So this is a really good signing for San Francisco. And they got him for 3 years. And this first year, he might make the adjustment to the team. I think he comes in hot. I think he plays well. But hopefully, as we build a high caliber team between now and the next year of his contract, hopefully he gets 2 shots at a Super Bowl with us, because this is a really good piece for us.
Here's what confuses me though. So the Niners said they were interested in J.C. Jackson. He was too expensive. They signed Charvarius Ward, but $14 million a year, that's a big investment. And then they were interested in Chandler Jones, didn't get him. I think we all expected, okay, they got Charvarius Ward. He wasn't the number 1 corner on the market, but he's expensive. He's a big move. Here the Niners go. They're going all in. And then they haven't. Since they got Ward, they've just been focused on special teams. It's what was the point of giving Charvarius Ward a 3-year deal worth $14 million if you're just going to stop there? I don't get it.
When it happened, I thought that the Jimmy was a trade or a cut was imminent, something to get rid of his cap space so that they could have more to pursue other players, but it did not happen. I don't know if
the Niners' plan was to get one big signing this offseason. That was the whole plan. Look at the rest of the league is going crazy. And they got Charvarius Ward, good player in a vacuum, but that's the whole offseason. And it's a type of an all-in move. You're giving them a lot of money. It's not a 5-year deal, it's a 3-year deal. I don't know.
It is very strange to invest in a guy in the first year when you don't expect to compete.
Right.
Or it's very possible that the Niners look at their team and think that they can compete. Maybe they think they're going to be so much better with the team they have right now. And maybe they feel that is really the only weakness they have. They have a lot of weaknesses on the O-line and in the secondary, but I would have to say that they seem to think this was a good move. As far as the financial, as far as the player's caliber, it was an excellent move. But as far as managing the cap, I'm not so sure.
I'm cynical, though. I feel like you just do one big move and say, okay, we're being aggressive, and then the fans and the media off your back when you spend the rest of free agency signing special teamers and not trading Jimmy Garoppolo. It's like, they well, we got Ward. Ward was a big move. That's a lot of people want Yahan, and you did nothing else. That's all you did. Crazy. It's almost like insulation from criticism. We got Ward. We got freaking
I don't
Ward.
think that there's any fan out there that's not going to criticize keeping Jimmy Garoppolo at this point. So I don't think they're going to get some kind of free pass with the press or the people. I hope. I think it's pretty obvious that they have to move him. And but maybe in a couple of weeks from now or after the draft, he gets cut. I don't know, but they have to get rid of him. They absolutely do.
Max says Odom hasn't missed a game in 4 years. Big plus. Hey, that's great. He's a special team guy. Got to have him around. 5-star Hustler says Lance has been put in the most toxic work environment ever. No way he feels welcome.
I don't know if he does not feel not welcome. Losing Tomlinson definitely is not the right message, but maybe they've got something in their plans for the draft. I really hope they don't like blow every draft pick they have on getting an O-lineman when we do need a corner. And that's the one thing I have. I was a little concerned with the money that went to Ward because this is the 49ers way of saying we no longer need to draft a corner. And then 3 years from now, we would be right back here talking about what's wrong with these first-year products coming out of Oregon or whatever else and why we can't compete against the Rams wide receiver core.
TN707 quotes Andre Nicotina. I'm not going to say it. It's a little much. But the second sentence is, at this point, I'd rather see him cut than continue being hamstrung. I agree.
I agree with the second sentence, yes.
Martin L. says, we love your OnlyFans Sybilla.
Thank you.
The Logical Truth says, just curious, what power ranking would you give the 49ers with their offseason acquisitions? Power ranking in the league right now? I would say they're somewhere between 5 and 10 in the best 5 and 10 best teams in the league. Very good team, even with Talanoa Hufanga in the starting lineup. Hufanga.
There you go.
Couple more. Hyder just got released. Bring him back. Sure. Couldn't hurt.
I guess it's a depth piece. I guess. Yeah, I could see that. I think I'd rather have some other people though. But yeah.
Demontre says we have to let some of our rookies this year grow. Going out and signing free agents to replace them is not helping their growth. Thomas got better with time, and now they just replaced Thomas, the one rookie who doesn't get a free pass.
Not sure if I am frozen, but he is frozen on my screen. So yeah, definitely, Demontre, I definitely agree with what you are saying there. It will stink that Thomas doesn't get the playing time, but at the same time, yeah, so he's gone. We'll wait for him to come back. But I just feel like Thomas is one guy who does need more playing time, but we just cannot be in the position where we are having to develop someone at the expense of the team. And I think a lot of people felt that even though Thomas showed growth, it's like, okay, let him grow as a backup option, not as a starter. So that's where Ward comes in.
No, am I back? Can you hear me? I froze.
You are. Yeah, I was just filling in while you were.
No, I just think it's funny. Like Trey Lance doesn't play, you're a starter. Aaron Banks doesn't play, you're a starter. Avery Thomas comes on strong, plays in the playoffs, plays really well. Like, hey, you're gonna be in the bench this year. We got Charvarius. Sorry, but in the future, we might come back to you. It's like, dang. Anyway, it's that kind of business.
Thomas at this point is looking to push Mosley off the chart.
True.
Not because he's not going to push Ward.
George says, I feel so bad for Trey Lance being drafted to the Niners with this regime that didn't even want him. That's trying to replace him. They haven't even seen him play, and the whole NFL hating him. It hurts. Well, he's going to get the last laugh. I hope he will. It's possible.
I'm sure he will. Yeah, I don't think they hate him. I just think that they are not managing this situation well. You got to decide. So, are you all in on a rookie quarterback, or are you here for Jimmy Garoppolo? They just have to decide a direction. Maybe they have a direction. Maybe we're going to see something develop, but the market is getting thin.